Some houses are abandoned, some are cursed, and some are alive. Marcus thought curiosity was harmless until he looked into the mirror at Crowley Lane. Now, he's trapped forever. Marcus had always been drawn to places people avoided. Abandoned buildings, empty streets, overgrown parks. They called to him in ways he didn't fully understand. Perhaps it was the thrill, the need to prove he wasn't afraid. Perhaps it was something darker, a curiosity that gnawed at the edges of his mind. Crowley Lane was the kind of place stories were built on. Children whispered about it in the local schoolyard, warning one another to stay away from the house at the far end, a structure that seemed older than the town itself. No one knew who had built it or who had last lived there. Locals said it was cursed, that anyone who entered after dark would never be the same. Marcus had laughed at those warnings. He approached the house on an overcast afternoon, the sky bruised with grey clouds. The iron gate at the edge of the property groaned as he pushed it open. Vines clung to it, thick and sticky, as though trying to pull him back. The pathway to the front door was nearly invisible under weeds that stretched like claws. The house itself loomed, its dark windows staring at him like empty eye sockets. Marcus paused at the door. His heart beat steadily, but the air felt heavy, thick, almost electric. He tried the doorknob, which turned easily despite years of neglect. The door swung open with a moan that echoed through the empty hall, announcing his presence to the house itself. Inside, the air smelled of rot and dust. The wallpaper was peeling, revealing layers of older, yellowed paper beneath. Every step Marcus took made the floorboards creak underfoot, and he felt watched, though he saw nothing. He told himself it was just his imagination, but the whisper came anyway, barely audible at first. Asterisk, you shouldn't be here. Asterisk. He froze, scanning the hallway. The shadows seemed to twist unnaturally, reaching for him like long, skeletal fingers. Marcus's curiosity won over his fear. He moved deeper, the dim light from the overcast sky barely illuminating the rooms. Each room he passed was filled with remnants of the past, faded photographs, cracked furniture, a child's shoe half buried in dust. The house seemed frozen in time, yet alive in its decay. The living room was the most unsettling. A large mirror hung crooked on the wall, its frame warped with age. Dust covered the glass, but Marcus wiped a finger across it, revealing his reflection. At first, it seemed normal. Then, slowly, his reflection smiled. Marcus's heart stopped. He hadn't smiled. The movement was independent, deliberate. A voice emanated from the glass, low and guttural. Asterisk, stay, forever. Asterisk. Panic surged. He backed away, but the mirror's surface rippled like water, and the smile widened. The room seemed to breathe around him. The ceiling stretched higher, the walls pushed inward. Shadows moved across surfaces, forming shapes that weren't there before, figures with hollow eyes, grinning mouths, silent yet menacing. Marcus stumbled backward into the hallway, the whispering growing louder. It became a cacophony, hundreds of voices speaking all at once, calling his name, mocking him, urging him to stay. He tried to escape, but the front door slammed shut with a force that rattled the house. Hours seemed to pass. He was trapped, though he had no way of knowing. Time had no meaning here. The shadows advanced, silent and patient, while the mirror's surface drew closer. Pale hands reached through, stretching toward him. The whispers became screams. Desperate, Marcus lunged at the mirror with a broken chair leg. The glass didn't shatter. Instead, the reflection reached back, dragging him in. His last sensation was the cold, the endless darkness swallowing him, and the sensation of being pulled apart and remade. The next morning, the neighbors noticed the gate swinging gently in the wind. The house remained silent, dark, and lifeless. Inside, the mirror hung perfectly clear, and if you looked closely, you would see Marcus, smiling, waiting for the next visitor.